I got a 2010 Dodge Charger. It had a coolant leak. As soon as I pour water in the reservoir, it leaked out somewhere down there where that radiator hose is connected. You couldn't see anything. I got the power steering pulley out of the way. So first thing I did was take the belt loose. A 3/8 drive ratchet fits into there. You turn it clockwise, loosens the belt. And then we got three 10mm bolts go through the holes of the power steering pulley to get those three out, and you can shove that power steering pulley around this mounting bracket right here to that location. Now I did get my air box out of the way, super easy. Take your clamp off, loosen her up, and then you just got one 10mm bolt here holding it on. It gives you a lot more room. Now I've got the three bolts loose from the mounting bracket. They're 13mm. So that mounting bracket's going to pull right out of there. And now we have access to this water outlet here the hose is connected to. It was leaking somewhere from in here. So let's pour some water in and verify this is where it was leaking from. Let me grab a funnel, guys. Kind of put the camera there and pour a little bit of water in. A little bit more. And we can see the water leaking. Looks like right at the bottom of that. That's what it looks like. Let me put my hand down in there and see. Yeah, it looks like it's leaking at the bottom. This metal coolant pipe, let me get my hand on it, right here, goes to the bottom of the water outlet, and it's leaking somewhere there, but we still can't see. So it's time to take this off. It looks like we have 10mm bolts on it, so let me get that removed. Alright, here we go. See if you can see that. I've got a ratchet on that bottom bolt down there to this water outlet. Let me move this flashlight out of the way. I don't think it's helping. Try to get this power steering pump out of the way a little bit too. Alright, so these bolts to the water outlet are angled downwards. So I had to loosen the AC compressor. You got one bolt up top, one on the bottom right there. You can see the bolt sticking out, and one on the back. The one on the back's 15mm, the other two are 13. But now, the ratchet fell off the bolt, but now I can actually, I've already broken it free, get a straight shot on that bolt and start taking it off. There's a bolt past that pipe you can't see. So now now I have access to take all three bolts out. Alright, we got our aluminum pipe off right here. Goes onto those studs. You can't see the other one. But what you gotta do is loosen this pipe up from the back. It goes underneath the exhaust manifold, and then it connects to a rubber hose. You gotta disconnect that rubber hose or the bracket that holds it down so that it can go backwards. I was hoping to find the leak like right here. This O-ring looks pretty good. So we're gonna go further. We're gonna take those 10mm nuts off. See, behind the first layer of nuts there's that hold down the aluminum pipe. There's another one that holds down the plastic water outlet. It's time to take those off. Here's our water outlet thermostat housing. Some crud in there. But I don't see any cracks. There is this little slot that the gasket fits in. If the gasket was bad, that'd probably be the first place it was leaking, because it faces this way It was leaking somewhere down here in the bottom of the plastic. Down here, let's see, there we go, there's our gasket still on there, thermostat. Snag that gasket off, take a peek at it. Thermostat just fell right out. Really, the gasket doesn't feel bad. Some corrosion there, though. Let's take a peek down in there. Using this camera as a borescope. Well, the nuts and everything were tight, so let me inspect this further and hopefully I can see the cause of the leak. Maybe it was that gasket. We're just gonna replace the thermostat, gasket, water outlet, see what happens. Here we go, we got everything put back together. Make sure you change the O-ring on that metal pipe. The thermostat housing, thermostat, and gasket did not come with a new O-ring for that, and make sure it's the exact same O-ring. Definitely important. You want to do this again. It's a pretty annoying job. So I got my metal pipe hooked back up that it goes to that rubber hose after the exhaust manifold. Got everything tightened back down in the right order. That gasket is a pain to fit in there right, and what I've seen is people don't put the gaskets in right when they change a thermostat because it's a pain to get it to fit in perfectly. So make sure you put it in properly. The thermostat has grooves, or the gasket has grooves that the thermostat fits into, and then that all fits into the housing. If you have it in right, the gasket won't be turned cockeyed or anything, and you can put that, bolt that housing right back up, then bolt your pipe back up. So we gotta put this clamp back on, throw everything back together. That's how you change the thermostat on these engines. The other thing is, it could be a weep hole that's leaking. The water pump weep hole sits right underneath of there. I made a video on how to check if it's the thermostat gasket, the housing gasket that's leaking, or if it's the weep hole. When you got your power steering apart and that bracket out of the way, you can put your finger down there, have somebody pour water in it, or pour it in real quick, and you can plug up the weep hole. It sits, I got my finger right on the weep hole. And you can plug it up and see if water still leaks. These gaskets are pretty common to do a leak, and so are the water pumps. So make sure you check that out before you take everything apart. And if you're doing a water pump anyways, it's good to change the thermostat and housing. Do it all at once.